What should I do today?
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is an open-world RPG that released back in 2015. It won Game of the Year and has a massive modding community around it. So let's explore what one of the endings of this game looks like, from someone who's beaten the game 35 times. Fallout 4 has a pretty long opening sequence, but after you get past that, the real fun of the game pretty much begins. So basically, the beginning of the game starts like this. Shower, choose character, customize character, talk to man, do stats, watch the news, get scared, run to vault, get involved, go to sleep, watch wife die, wake up, kill roach, say
Giant roaches? What the hell?
grab stimpack, grab gun, grab ammo, open door, kill more roach, grab Pip-Boy, open door, get on elevator, and now you've completed the beginning of the game. So, what do we do from here? So we start off by running to our house, which is in shambles, not because we didn't clean it, but because it got nuked. Then we can talk to the robot, or we can just tell him to fuck off. Next, I always love to go to this basement because it has some supplies. Then after that, I go to the roof and grab this duffel bag. After that, I head down the bridge and loot this guy's body. Then we go up here, grab the duffel bag, run to the water tower, pick up all the stuff around the water tower, and then we go over here to this trunk thing that's in a grave, and we loot it too. And now we have some pretty decent supplies that'll help us out in the beginning of the game. So what do we do from here? Okay, so there's two main things you can do from here. The one I always choose is to just run straight to Diamond City, but this is probably the worst option because in most cases, if you're not experienced, you will just die on your way there. So probably not best idea to do what I'm doing here, but you know, I do it anyway because I have a lot of experience with this game. And we just continue running. There might be an enemy there, but you know, we can just ignore it for now. We can grab the stuff in this ammo can right here on this tire, and right after we can see this little sealed hatch. We can run down the hose and it'll lead to this little switch. We flip the lever and we run back up, and boom, there is some loot for us. So take all of the supplies from this area and we can go kill all these raiders right here. And right after, we can just run down to this little tent area here. And we're just going to take the ammo from the ammo can. Alright, so after that, we're going to run to the junkyard here. Then we're going to turn right, and we're going to go ahead and grab this totally not overpowered nuke launcher. Then right after, we're just going to keep running, and we're going to grab the ammo for the nuke launcher. Then we're going to turn around and go into this concrete building and grab our first magazine. It's going to be sitting on a table. Then we're going to run out of the building, making sure not to skip that little med kit there. Then we're going to keep running until we get into Concord. Then immediately after that, we're going to go inside of this really old house. We're just going to go ahead and take everything in here and making sure not to miss the cap stash underneath this little table. After we grab that cap stash, we're just going to run out of the town, and we're going to continue running until we get to this little tent area here. And we're just going to loot everything here, and we're going to turn around and go to this trader that's over here. And we're going to go ahead and sell everything that we don't need. And there's a lot, and we're just going to buy some ammo for the guns that are really good. I'm buying 44, 10mm, and shotgun shells because the best weapons in the game at this level are the 44 that I'm holding right here, the shotgun, and the 10mm pistol. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some new armor that I got from the trader. And then we're going to go ahead and talk to Wolfgang here and rob him of all of his money by passing a charisma check. Then after passing that charisma check, we're going to go ahead and offer help, and we're going to talk to Trudy. So here's where it gets interesting. Now we go ahead and talk to Trudy here, and we offer help to her. Then we can pass a charisma check to ask for a lot of money. So then right after, we go ahead and make quick work of Wolfgang and Simone over here. And then we go ahead and walk back into the diner and we talk to Trudy to get our reward. Now we're going to go ahead and run over to this house over here in the distance. And this has a med kit inside that we can go ahead and grab some stim packs from. And after that, we're going to go ahead and get out of the house and start running towards these train cars over here. And then on the inside of one of the blue ones, we can find an ammo can, and we'll just grab the ammo out of that. So going down the road, we can see this old collapsed building, and on the very top, you can see this blue bottle. Now we can shoot that down, and we can go and grab it, and that's a Nuka-Cola Quantum. These are extremely rare, but they have some of the best healing stats in the game. So if you ever find one, make sure to keep it. Next, we're going to go ahead and head over to this waste disposal site over here, and this should have some Nuka-Cola machines right here. Yep, and we got lucky, another Quantum in there. We're just going to go ahead and terminate the rat population of Boston. And after that, we're going to go ahead and loot this guy, grab the ammo from these boxes, and we're going to go ahead and go over to this shack. So heading on into the shack, before we go in, we're going to go ahead and pop a Rad-X so we don't take as much radiation damage. We're going to grab this little mini nuke here, that'll help us later, and then we'll go ahead and loot this guy's body as well. Now in other playthroughs you can go and help the Brotherhood of Steel from that military frequency thing, but in this playthrough I'm not going to, because in this playthrough I'm going to be siding with the Railroad or the Institute. So we're just not even going to bother with the Brotherhood of Steel. Of course we're going to get that checkpoint so we can get some XP from discovering the location though. And we're going to go ahead and run over here and just grab some more locations so fast traveling later is a lot easier if we need to get around somewhere. We're going to go ahead and cross the bridge, completely paying no attention to the enemies right below us because I don't feel like dealing with them. Completely cross over the bridge and we're about 2/3 of the way to Diamond City. So, arriving at the gate of Diamond City yields us a familiar face here. This is Cricket. She's a guns vendor, and she has one of the best guns in the game. It's called Spray and Pray, and each bullet that impacts does 15 explosive damage to enemies. So, this would be a perfect gun for this build because it's an automatic weapons build. We'll go ahead and buy that later. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and stick with the crappy 10mm pistol, just so we can save money. Alright, so now we're at the gate. We're going to go ahead and tell Piper we want in. So we're at the gate. I don't like listening to Piper bitching, so we're going to go ahead and skip this part. And we're just going to go ahead and sprint past everyone and head straight into the Diamond City. So now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and run straight to the Valentine Detective Agency. Before we talk to Ellie, we're going to grab a magazine. And then we're going to go ahead and talk to Ellie. Now that we talked to Ellie, we're going to go ahead and go to Park Street Station. And we're here now. So we're going to go ahead and head inside. And we're just going to clear this first room of hostiles. So now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and loot them all. And we're going to take all the submachine guns because this is where our build really starts to come together. We're going to go ahead and start clearing this room down here. And now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and home in on the vault. Though not before dealing with 3 pesky guards. Then after that, this mission basically plays out as open door, shoot guards, shoot more guards, kill guy with explosive, save robot, kill more guards, kill more guards, kill man with nuclear bomb, go to surface. So now that we're done with that mission, since we're over here, we're going to go ahead and mark a few locations on our map to get some pretty overpowered weapons for right now. These weapons being the rocket launcher from the Super Mutant on a bridge, and this awesome legendary 44 Magnum revolver. At this level, these weapons are amazing for making quick work of enemies, and they'll come in very, very useful whenever we go to fight Kellogg. So the next mission basically plays out as blah blah blah, ooh a secret button, follow the dog for about 10 minutes, get to Fort Hagen, kill all the synths inside, kill the bald man, watch a steel blimp pass by. Then this mission is just done, so let's go to the next one. So this next mission requires us to go to Good Neighbor and talk to Dr. Amari to explore Kellogg's memories. This is a pretty quick mission, and there's only one really memorable part, and that's where you get to see your wife die again. So after watching your wife die again, we finally figure out how the Institute is getting in and out of places so quick, and it's teleportation. So then the mission ends and the quest to find Virgil starts. So the next mission requires us to go to the glowing sea to find Virgil. Now you might be asking, why is this a big deal? This is a big deal because the glowing sea is the highest level area in Fallout 4, excluding Nuka World. So we're gonna go to West Everett Estates and grab a hazmat suit out of a bunker. So here it is, the hazmat suit in all of its glory. So after looting the bunker, we're gonna definitely make sure not to die when we leave. So right after dying when we get out of the bunker, just like I said we wouldn't, we respawn and try again. At this point I was pretty done, so I just decided the next time we spawn in, I'm just gonna run. I'm not even gonna try fighting. So directly after making it out of West Everett, I decided to travel to Fort Hagen. We're going to Fort Hagen to start looking for Virgil in the glowing sea. Since we got the hazmat suit, radiation is no longer a problem. But the problem is not the radiation. The problem is getting from Fort Hagen to the beginning of the glowing sea. It's the biggest problem because this is the highest level area of the map. And we are level 6.
Hey.
Not the best idea to be running around here at level 6. The game recommends at this point that you're probably at level 30. So we definitely shouldn't be here. Now I am not a lucky man, but oh my god, I got so unlucky while playing this that I found 3 Deathclaws in the span of 10 minutes. And I had to run away from all of them, because I'm like level 6. What am I supposed to do to a Deathclaw at level 6? Shoot it with a 10mm pistol? What is that gonna do? Nothing! It's gonna do nothing! So I just start to run past all the enemies and hope I make it to Virgil in the glowing sea. But you know what? There's one thing we gotta do. So after killing the Deathclaw, we got one of the worst guns I think I've ever seen. Then after that, it's off to the races. We gotta get to the nuclear crater and try and find Virgil. So shortly after finding Virgil's location, we run past another Deathclaw and we talk to Virgil. So basically this conversation goes like this. Yo, I'm trying to get into the Institute. You can't do that. Why? Because you need to hack into the Institute's systems and stuff, man.
How?
Gotta kill a courser, dude. And we're basically like,
I bet.
right after that amazing conversation with Virgil, we're not gonna go kill a courser immediately. We gotta stock up on gear first. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go help the railroad out. This is gonna start by grabbing a settlement called Hangman's Alley. This is the base we're gonna use to hack into the Institute. After doing some spring cleaning, we're gonna go to Vault 88 and we're gonna buy Spray and Pray. We're basically gonna trade every single item we have for this gun, but it's worthy of all of these items because this gun is the best option for this build. And now we have our greedy little hands on it. So making it back to Hangman Alley, we're going to do some modifications to our Spray and Pray. We're going to give it a rapid receiver, which makes the fire rate ridiculously fast, so more damage. And would you look at that? We look great. So right after that, we're going to follow the Freedom Trail, and then we're just going to talk at the railroad. Nothing really interesting happens, except we're going to go meet Deacon on a quest. After waiting for Deacon to walk 10 hours on the bridge, this mission really isn't that important, so I'm just gonna skip the whole thing, and the only interesting thing that happens is we get this cool hand cannon, and we go back to the railroad headquarters. And right after, we travel to the CIT ruins, tune to the frequency, and we run to the building. So basically, once we get into the building, we're just gonna start shooting people immediately. And this mission is kind of long. It takes about 24 minutes in total. It's probably the longest mission in terms of time in combat, but other than that, it's pretty uneventful. You do get a funny line when you talk to the courser.
I'm here to pick up an order. 2 large pepperoni and a calzone. Name is...
If you're not here for the sin.
But other than that, it's a pretty uneventful mission. So right after this mission, we have to get the courser chip decoded, and because we have the railroad, it's a lot faster to get the chip decoded. So right after we get the chip decoded, we go ahead and head back to Virgil and his cave, and then we definitely promise to help him whenever we get into the Institute. So after we talk to Virgil, he gives us plans to build the teleporter to get us inside the Institute. We're gonna go ahead and head back to the Railroad HQ and watch this amazing gun that Tinker Tom made, which totally works on the first try.
Terry?
So right after that beautiful demonstration by Tinker Tom, we're gonna go ahead and tell him about the teleporter and see if he can build it for us.
Let's see what we need.
Hold on. Who wrote this? Some kid with a crayon? Shit.
So after Tinker Tom rambles on for about a full minute, we go back to Hangman's Alley and build the platform, and then we have to go back and talk to him.
Hey,
You got the platform built yet?
So after we talk to Tinker Tom, we head back to Hangman's Alley again for the last time, and then we build the rest of the teleporter. And we power it up. After building everything up, we find out that someone named Patriot is helping the railroad from inside of the Institute.
Find a way to save them.
After teleporting into the Institute, we find out that there's a marvel of technology, and there's some strange old man talking to us over the radio. Then we talk to our kid who has gray hair for some reason. Then the kid goes like... Then we find out that the old man is in fact our child, and not just a weird old man. Then we find out that Patriot is a bald man. And after meeting everyone in the Institute, then we have to go to Green Check Genetics and get Liam a password, which is a pain in the ass. So we do it anyway, and we get him his password and return back to the Institute. Then after that, we have to continue working with the Institute to look non-suspicious. And a couple of things happen here. The Battle of Bunker Hill happens. We kill some synths, donate some weapons, return a rogue synth and get a legendary shotgun. We vibe to some music. So after that, we have a conversation with our son. So after that conversation, we go back into the Institute and we find out that our son is dying. And after that, we go ahead and start the quest Mass Fusion. This quest makes us enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, so if you're doing this playthrough just like I am, make sure you're content with being enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, because you can't join them after this. So we go ahead and teleport to the Mass Fusion building, and from here we clear some of the Brotherhood of Steel members, and then we proceed down the elevator. Then we finally get down to the lower area where the actual beryllium agitator is. Then we have to deal with some sentry bots and assaultrons, so we go ahead and clear those out. And then we go ahead and head back up to the surface and run back to the Institute. So now that we're back in the Institute, we go ahead and we run into the Advanced Systems building, and we give Allie Fillmore the beryllium agitator. Then after that, we go on a quest to help a team of scientists who have been pinned in a building and help them get back to the Institute safe. So we arrive at the area, clear out the enemies, head inside, talk to the scientists through the door, convince them to come work with the Institute, and then we head back into the Institute. Then after that, we go ahead and talk to our son, and he says we need to do a speech. So we do the speech, and then we head into Diamond City, and for anyone playing this mission, the correct order that the parts go in is radio thing with tubes on the right, radio thing with dials in the center, and radio thing with buttons on the left.
It must make you proud to see.
So after that, we head into the reactor room in the Institute, and we get to turn it on. After turning it on, we talk to Father, and he tells us that there is a director meeting, and I forgot to mention this, but we are the new director of the Institute, and not too many people are happy about this. Right after the meeting ends, an anonymous synth comes up to us and tells us that Z1 needs to meet. So we go and talk to Z1, and he tells us that the Brotherhood of Steel is on the way to shoot up the railroad's headquarters. So we get back to the HQ where we're given a railroad rifle, and then we start defending the HQ from the Brotherhood of Steel. Once that's done, we go ahead and head to the police station where the Brotherhood of Steel are with Tinker Tom and Deacon, and then we go ahead and clear that area, and then we board the Vertibird and invade the Pridwin, and we plant 3 remote explosives on it. Then after that, we reboard the Vertibird as fast as we can, and then the fireworks show begins, which actually still looks pretty good even though the game's around 5 or 6 years old now. Then after that, we head back to the Railroad HQ, and we're informed that it is time to invade the Institute. And then the last quest of the game begins, the nuclear option.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
We teleport into the Institute for the last time, then we ride the elevator up. We get to the relay room and we clear it from all the hostiles. Z1 teleports the railroad gang in, then we make our way through the old Institute robotics. We reach the main room of the Institute, then we clear it of its hostiles. Then we take the elevator down and talk to our son for the last time. Then we convince our son to help us one last time before we blow up the Institute. We override the security lockdown and then we head into the reactor room. After clearing all the hostiles in the room, we place the nuclear bomb charge, then we relay back to the control room. We take the synth child with us, and then we relay out of the Institute for the last time. And here we are, this is it. We activate the detonator, and we've beaten Fallout 4. So thank you for watching this video. I know this is a bit of a content change for the channel, but I think this video is pretty fun to edit. In total, it was around 132 gigabytes of footage, or around 7 hours and 30 minutes of footage. This video was a little bit hard to edit, but you know me, I'm always looking for a challenge. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. It's free, and you get notified when I post another one of these videos. I might make more content like this, but I haven't decided yet, as it takes a little longer than the regular stuff. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.